to the Uncle Monty and School Crusher show. As you can see on our last video, we did a little bit.
We did a little bit on Old Blue. We were trying to figure out what to do.
And we took out the engine, but this time we went to a guy and we got a new engine and we figured out what was wrong with the engine and all sorts of kind of stuff. So there's different stuff that was wrong with the engine.
Well, we found a guy on Facebook Marketplace selling engine that he rebuilt. So who knows how long it's going to last or how good it's going to be, but we're hopeful. It was a reasonable price, but the engine was out of a 73 Chevrolet. It's a 350. What came out of here was a 305 out of an 86. And we found out there's some differences. But we'll get to that in a little bit. But since then, we also made a run to Oklahoma, me and Grandpa, to get a bunch of old junky car parts down there for Old Yeller. And then we started on the next day, so Saturday, putting the engine in here, and here it is Tuesday, and we just got it to run. It's a miracle. But we did the cam break-in. How did we do the cam break-in? We started it up and then just let it run at like...
We just let it run at like...
really high RPM, like 2,500 RPM
Yeah.
for about 20 minutes, and Skull Crusher made sure it didn't get too hot by watching the gauges and stuff.
So, as you can see here, this is the engine that we got from Facebook Marketplace. It runs, but not the best.
Well, it runs pretty good, but we still have some things to work out. We'll see if we can show you here. So one of the issues we had is exhaust manifold on passenger side. This head is an older head, and it only has one bolt on the last exhaust port. The 86 head had two, and this used the second hole port, or the second hole. So right now we don't have a bolt in the back exhaust port, but we decided just to get it running for now, that's fine. The other issue we had was on the driver's side. So on our old engine, the dipstick was on the passenger side. On this engine, it's on the driver's side, and it's right behind where the exhaust manifold comes down. So currently at the moment, we don't have an engine oil dipstick, but we're looking to get two different headers for both sides, so we can use all the bolts and use the dipstick, and then we'll have to rework the exhaust.
As you can see here, this is the old engine that was in the truck firstly, and that was the other piece to it. Right now, we're in the plan of putting them together and setting them off the side. They come back together for a different build.
So I'll talk about this since this was a grandpa and me project. We went all the way down to almost Texas, like Marlow, Oklahoma, way down south, about a 4 or 5 hour drive. We went down there for one specific reason. We saw a guy that had a post with a bunch of stuff in it, and there was a transmission with an overdrive, manual transmission overdrive that I've been looking for Old Yeller. But he wanted $100, which was an amazing deal if it was the right one, but we couldn't tell because the pictures were bad and the guy was an hour away from it and he wasn't going to get more pictures. But we got there, he gave us this 283. This thing looks like it's been pulled from the bottom of a river. We don't know anything about it, but it's highly likely it's going to be scrap. Then he gave us this 350 block that it's been sitting around for a while, but it doesn't look horrible. Then over there, he gave us this. This is an old cast iron Power Glide. I have no idea what we're going to do with this. It might, we don't know. But this is the reason we went over there. This is a Saginaw 3-speed with an overdrive, Borg Warner overdrive on the tail housing. I've been looking for one of these for Old Yeller for a while, for about a year now. Cheapest one I could find was $1,000. Okay, this one's all here. I got to make a wiring harness and a few other things, but we gave $100 for it, and we got that much back in scrap iron if we decide to sell this other stuff for scrap, or maybe someone will want some of the other parts we got. But now we got to rebuild this at some point in the future and put it in Old Yeller.
So stay tuned on the School Crusher and Uncle Monty show. Please hit the subscribe button and like. Stay tuned until the next episode.